The Vikings, often romanticized for their seafaring exploits and storied mythology, held a significant place in European history for around 3 centuries. Their fearless raiding, intricate shipbuilding, and enduring legacy left an indelible mark on the cultures they encountered. Yet their history remains mysterious due to the need for more contemporary written records. This narrative dives into several aspects of Viking life, exploring their practice of human sacrifice, their potential use of magic mushrooms, the troubling existence of trap women, and the intricate tapestry of their violent mythology. So, what were the Vikings like? And what secrets do they hold? Stick around and you'll find out. This video explains the diverse history of the Viking Empire. Let's get started. Violent mythology. Creation and retaliation. In the realm of Viking mythology, where the line between fact and fiction often blurs, many tales lurk, offering glimpses into an enigmatic world. Given the scarcity of documented records from the Viking era, much of what we know about their culture and beliefs comes from the sagas and poetry of Scandinavian writers who penned their works centuries after the Viking Age. Within this body of myths, a dark and tumultuous landscape emerges, painting a picture of a universe forged in violence and steeped in retribution. The very genesis of the Viking universe is a narrative entwined with violence. It is told that in the beginning, the cosmos was a vast emptiness, a void yearning to be filled. The emergence of elements like ice and fire marked a pivotal shift. Still, it was the hermaphroditic deity, Ymir, who would become the progenitor of a race of giants and a catalyst for creation. As if scripted from a macabre tale, Ymir's demise was gruesome, and his body sundered to give birth to the earth itself. His bones formed the mountains, his blood flowed as rivers, and his skull stretched to encompass the vast sky. This brutal origin story set the stage for a mythology steeped in cosmic violence. Another enigmatic figure in Viking mythology is Loki, the notorious god of mischief. Loki's exploits often navigated a treacherous path between chaos and retribution. One of the most chilling episodes recounts how Loki's mischief led to the accidental death of one of Odin's beloved sons. Loki's son suffered a terrible fate in the cold, calculated calculus of divine justice. One was transformed into a ravenous wolf that devoured his sibling. Loki was subjected to divine vengeance, enduring the agony of entrails being bound in a cave where venom dripped upon him, eternal torment for his transgressions. These narratives, steeped in violence and consequence, reflect a worldview that saw conflict and retribution as essential threads woven into the fabric of existence. The gods embodied nature's creative and destructive forces, blurring the line between malevolence and benevolence. The tales of creation and divine intervention resonate with the harsh realities of the Viking world, where survival was often a relentless struggle against the elements and rival clans. Sacrifice. Rituals for divine favor. Sacrifice, a practice deeply ingrained in various cultures, holds a significant place in the historical context of the Vikings. Within the expansive tapestry of Viking history, human sacrifice emerges as a haunting aspect that evokes curiosity and repulsion. The Vikings, renowned for their seafaring prowess, intricate societal structures, and enigmatic mythology, engaged in rituals that sought to appease the gods, secure prosperous outcomes, and ensure the continuation of their way of life. While the reliability of accounts detailing Viking practices is occasionally questioned due to the scarcity of contemporary documentation, there are intriguing glimpses into the ritualistic aspect of their society. Reports, albeit often penned by Christian monks with biases against pagan practices, unveil an intricate web of belief systems. German Bishop Dietmar of Merseburg and Adam of Bremen are notable sources, recounting gatherings that occurred every 9 years. These assemblies held significant religious implications, involving sacrificing animals, and in some instances, humans, to seek the favor of deities and ensure forgiveness of transgressions. Intriguingly, the Vikings' affinity for the number 9 surfaces repeatedly in these rituals, suggesting a deep-rooted symbolism or numerology. This numerical recurrence showcases the meticulous nature of their practices and the reverence with which they approach their beliefs. The act of sacrifice, be it animals, humans, or even objects of significance, played a vital role in their spiritual cosmology, bridging the earthly realm with the divine. The actual motivations and psychological underpinnings behind these rituals remain shrouded in mystery. Were these sacrifices the result of genuine devotion to the gods, expressions of social hierarchy, or strategies to exert control over the populace through fear and spectacle? The lack of first-hand accounts from the Vikings adds an air of ambiguity, inviting modern scholars and enthusiasts to delve into the motivations that propelled these practices. However, the concept of sacrifice among the Vikings delves into the realm of the primal and the spiritual, reflecting the complex interplay of belief systems, societal norms, and the ever-present quest for security and prosperity. Trap women, struggles of the enslaved. The role of women in Viking society reveals a complex and often troubling narrative, with a significant aspect being the concept of trap women. As history unfolds, it becomes evident that women, particularly those who populated Iceland during the Viking Age, faced a deeply challenging existence, primarily defined by their origin, subjugation, and exploitation. In the context of Viking expansion and conquest, acquiring enslaved people was an inherent part of their raids and incursions into foreign lands. A closer look at the settlers who populated Iceland reveals a stark gender disparity and an unsettling truth about the origins of women in this new land. DNA analysis has illuminated that a substantial portion of the original female settlers in Iceland were Celtic, hailing from regions like Scotland, Ireland, and England. These women, unfortunately, seem to have been victims of the Vikings' raids and incursions, having been captured and brought to Iceland against their will. This phenomenon gives rise to the term trap women, as they were effectively trapped in a foreign land, stripped of their autonomy, and subjected to servitude and hardship. These women, referred to as thralls, formed an integral but unfortunate part of Viking society. While men were primarily engaged in warfare, trade, and political affairs, women, especially the thralls, were relegated to domestic labor, agricultural tasks, and other forms of physical toil. These women's experiences were marked by suffering, exploitation, and an absence of agency. They became the backbone of Viking households, carrying out essential tasks that sustained daily life, but often went unnoticed and unappreciated. The plight of trapped women also reveals the harsh realities of the Viking Age's patriarchal structure. Women, particularly those not of Norse origin, faced additional layers of marginalization due to their roots and gender. They were caught in a web of cultural and gender-based inequalities, often bearing the brunt of physical labor and abuse. Their stories remain largely untold in historical narratives, overshadowed by the more glorified accounts of Viking exploration and conquest. Magic mushrooms. Warriors in a trance. Magic mushrooms, also known as psychedelic mushrooms, have gained attention for their therapeutic potential and mind-altering effects in modern times. However, these intriguing fungi played a significantly different role in Viking society. While today magic mushrooms are associated with therapy and altered states of consciousness, the Vikings might have utilized them for a far more intense purpose: battle frenzy. The Vikings were renowned for their fearsome warriors, the berserkers, who were said to enter a trance before engaging in combat. Although limited and often contradictory, historical accounts describe these warriors as possessing superhuman strength and an almost impervious demeanor in battle. The question that has intrigued researchers is, what caused these berserkers to undergo such extreme psychological and physiological changes? One theory that gained attention suggests that the Vikings turned to Amanita muscaria, a red and white spotted mushroom known for its psychoactive properties. This mushroom is linked to hallucinations, drunkenness, and various physiological effects. It seemed plausible that consuming Amanita muscaria could lead to the berserkers' intense behavior and almost imperviousness to pain. However, another theory posits that the effects might have been induced by a different substance: henbane. Henbane is an herb that has been used since ancient times for its narcotic and pain-relieving properties. It was used as an anesthetic during surgeries in various cultures. Some experts argue that the symptoms experienced by berserkers closely resemble the effects of henbane consumption. This alternative explanation aligns with archaeological findings of henbane in Viking grave sites. The truth remains elusive, despite the fascination surrounding magic mushrooms and their potential role in the Viking culture. The descriptions of berserkers' behavior are based on fragmented historical accounts, and conclusive evidence is scarce. Their beliefs, environment, and cultural context influence the Vikings' practices. Using magic mushrooms or other substances to induce battle frenzy adds an intriguing layer to the already complex tapestry of Viking history. So, what indeed fueled the berserkers' ferocity in battle? Could it have been the effects of magic mushrooms like Amanita muscaria or the narcotic properties of henbane? And how do these historical insights intersect with our modern understanding of therapeutic substances? Please let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and share. Also, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on the latest uploads on the channel. As always, see you in the next video.